It is a beautiful frosty morning here at Keya Golf Club, and we'll try not to spin out as we drive down this slope entering the 5th fairway. There's something interesting here. These are manila grass fairways, cori, zoysia matrella, the fine bladed type of zoysia, but they also have some patches of bermuda grass growing in them, and you can see that the bermuda grass has a bit more of the frost showing, meaning there's a bit more water held on the leaves and then it's frozen. And that's interesting, and it tells me that even though this grass is dormant, I'm recording this in February, even though the grass is dormant, I can notice a difference where there's more frost on the bermuda grass than there is on the zoysia grass. And that means that it's really the leaf characteristics that are holding more water on the leaf. It's not just guttation fluid, which is the water that comes out from leaf tips that's squeezed out overnight when grass is growing and transpiring. And sometimes I wonder about that, how much of the frost or how much of the dew that we see, how much of the dew that we see is caused by actual dew and how much of it is guttation fluid. And in this case, I think it's all dew. Nothing, no guttation fluid will be happening in the winter time when the grass is dormant. Any color you see, and on the green there's not so much dew, but the color there is by an artificial method, by a colorant that's been applied to the turf. And maybe with that darker color and the lower mowing height, maybe the soil just stays warm enough that frost doesn't form. Anyway, it looks pretty good, and that traffic down the fairway, hopefully it doesn't cause any permanent damage. The greens are getting a collar redo to remove any bermuda grass contamination. So they've been excavated about 20 centimeters, taking out the soil and replacing that with a clean sand, and then it's getting resodded with cori, with zoysia matrella. It's interesting to be able to see the soil profile now on the greens that's exposed as this project is underway. And it's a sandy root zone. These are greens that I've showed before that is pretty firm, and right at the surface that has about 12% total organic material. Some of the greens out here have had as high as 15% total organic material right in the top 2 centimeters. We've been doing the OM246 total organic material by depth testing at Keya Golf Club since 2017. So we're now on a 6-year time series. This year will be the 7th year, I think, of measuring this. And we're able to see how the organic material changes at the surface and changes down below, and see what the effect of top dressing applications are and what the effect of any coring applications are to keep these surfaces firm and tournament ready. In fact, today is a practice round for a professional tournament that's going to be held here coming up. Andrew, it has been a busy winter at Keya. I saw you've got a lot of rounds.
Yes, we do. We've had about 3,000 rounds in January, over 3,000 in February, and up to 4,000 in March forecasted. So yeah, it's a busy winter.
On dormant turf.
On dormant turf.
And let's go look at some divots. I'm interested in divots in the fairway.
Yeah, we've got quite a few.
This is the 13th green, and it's elevated a little bit. So if people are short on this hole, Andrew, it looks like the balls roll back down here.
Yeah, if you just watch that ball right there, it's going to roll down there and stop more than likely in a divot.
Let's see if it does. Oh, no, let's see where that one stopped. No,
it's not in a divot, but it's kind of a tricky little shot there.
Yeah, there are a lot of divots in this area.
Right.
So I see those blue stakes, and that means ground under repair, doesn't it?
Right. In Japan, we always put these blue stakes out so all the players know that this would be under repair, and if their ball goes into a divot in this particular area, they can just move it out and get a nice shot.
And do you have a lot of these ground under repair areas?
No, at Keya, this is the only place that we have it, just because the ball is just kind of all rolling to the same spot here.
So this is about the worst spot on the course.
Yeah, this would be the worst spot.
And what's going to happen when the grass starts growing again, April or May? The divots will still be there, obviously.
Yeah, probably starting in April, May, that you'll start seeing fresh growth underneath the divots here, and as long as they're filled with sand, it'll all even out and be nice for the summertime play.
So something by June or something, it's all...
Yeah, June you wouldn't even notice it. Yeah.
That's not even in slow motion. I mean, the ball's moving in slow motion, but there you go. That one got in a divot, didn't it?
Yep.
On the 6th hole here, Andrew, and this is more typical, it's not ground under repair.
That's right.
And so this is
Just the scattered divots around.
Scattered divots around. Anybody complain about this?
I've never. They complain if they're not filled, but as far as there being divots, no, it's normal.
And you're dormant here from how would you say, November through March?
We stopped growing around October, but going dormant probably mid-December through March or so. Yeah.
So color-wise, it's mid-December through March.
Yeah.
But it stops growing October
through April or so. Yeah.
And so you're gonna do half your annual rounds in the winter when it's dormant?
Close to it. Yep. Close to it.
Because the weather is chilly, but it's for some reason it's the golfing season, and then next month you start getting the flowers.
Correct.
The cherry blossoms. Is that the peak season for golf?
Yeah. April, May is the peak season for golf here.
So you'll pretty much sell every single tee time at full price.
Yes.
Lots more divots to come then.
That's right.
Going outside the course boundaries over this Inoshishi wild boar fence.
Yes. Be careful.
It's electric, right?
It is electric. It's on 24 hours a day. This past 2 months, I've been setting up these snares on the outside of the golf course to prevent the wild boars from coming into the golf course. But sometimes the electric fence doesn't work like it should. And we'll just go to one of these locations that we caught a pig, probably about 120 kilo pig.
Wow, that's 260 pounds or so.
Yeah, it was a big one. The wire was around this tree right here.
Uh-huh.
And then the snare was like over there on a trail where you can see where the pigs like go every night. And so you set the snare on the trail, and then you just it's just a wire that kind of wraps around their leg. They can't get away, but once they get trapped, they just go berserk, right? And they're just kind of going around and around and around. You can see the damage around the trees here. And then I call a buddy of mine.
But yeah, that's pretty much how you catch these wild boars, which...
And you have to, because they do so much damage to the golf course. It's
And they do damage to the agriculture around here also.
Exactly.
So it's, in fact, the government pays people to eradicate them.
Anywhere from $100 to $150 per pig to eradicate them. Yep.
And how many have you killed around this property? Yeah.
Myself, just 6 over 2 months.
Good job.
So if you walk back here, you can clearly see where these pigs are every night they're making their way through here to find, they're either mating right now or they're trying to find some food. So you keep walking through here.
That looks like a single track trail.
Yeah.
Oh, and the footprints.
You can see their footprints coming through here. So this is a kind of a typical place you'd want to put a snare. You'd probably catch one pretty quick.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Well, at least they aren't getting on the course to cause any damage.
Well, yeah, that we stopped that. They were doing some pretty good damage before. But. See this tree root? They probably don't want to step on this tree root. So you put it in front of it, or you put it like on this side of it or on this side. So they're going to step over that tree root, right, and go right onto the snare. That's kind of the typical place you want to put them.